The MG Show. What real independent journalism looks like.
Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're going to start right now.
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Wow, guys. Wow. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Shady Groove, it is Friday, yeah. And so much is going on in the world.
We actually made it to Friday because, it's nothing but an obstacle course out there for you to find and understand what's happening. Like, nobody seems very excited except for the MG Show to come out and explain to you how amazing Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
And how amazing what it is that he is doing for not just America, but for the rest of the world. Nobody really wants to talk about that, Jeff. Everybody really wants to talk about these other things that have absolutely nothing to do with us that seem to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but seem to be people that were pretending like that they liked Donald Trump the whole time and were just laying in the weeds, waiting for the moment to strike in a mockingbird media style attack and pretend like they were taking down Trump.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, all of the influencers now, it's like I was talking to Alex Authority. We nicknamed him Daddy Longlegs because he's really got short legs. But Daddy Longlegs and I were talking yesterday, and Daddy Longlegs made a great point. I think that he thinks that basically our movement has been infiltrated from the get, Shady. Like from the get, like everybody, like all the Scaramucci play, Bannon, Roger, like everybody, Flynn, everybody that you're watching, Megyn Kelly, Bannon's War Room. I mean, all of them, every single one. Only a few are actually true to Donald Trump to this day. And a lot of the fake anons that were injected into our movement, not all are authentic, are making these fake QD codes, making us look like idiots.
I've been saying the InfoWars is that the whole time.
And
InfoWars is that. That is the InfoWars. There's no difference. Like that model, Bannon, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, that model is InfoWars. It's a model. It's an architecture. It's an established way to control a presidency. This is a media entity that is established by the military in a format so that they can control the conversation and the narrative. That's the reason we ran into the corner of Discord.
Yeah.
What was in the corner of Discord were all of their operations, you see, and they have to manage these different narrative. Every narrative, you can't manage the same narrative in Iraq in in media, and I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking about narratives in real media, in the papers in Iraq and Afghanistan. One doesn't work in the other. The ones from Iraq won't work in Colombia. You see, you have to have a network for each different country, and that's effectively you've got your military bases that are present. Well, that's the source of the operations. The online section came at you for Q. Yeah, they turned it on us because of Q. The whole network turned on us. Steve Bannon and all these people, Jeff. With Q mentioning Scaramucci play, things like that. Q understood what they were doing, but people couldn't understand what they were doing because you weren't looking at it the right way. Now we're all oriented to see it from the right angle.
That's right. And you got the same talking points. You see Alex Jones yesterday having General Flynn. I have a hard time saying general.
Yeah, it's tough. Only whenever you're mentioning one person, interestingly enough.
Right. So you've got this example 1-to-1, MOS, alternative plus U.S. media, U.S. politicians, and dots. Boom, this is the pyramid. Find those who scream the loudest. Find the connections. 1-to-1-to-1-to-1. Primary, affiliate A, affiliate B, affiliate C, marching to the same beat. Coincidence? Logical thinking. And here you got Kyle Seraphin on Alex Jones and General Flynn on Alex Jones. And she thinks freely, says, watch this. 2 different guests, 2 different days, both go on Alex Jones and peddle the same exact solution, a task force. At what point does everyone saying the same thing stop being a coincidence and start looking like a network narrative of coordination? And good, I got 520 views on this, Shady. Isn't that great?
The information is what is important.
Absolutely.
And understanding what they are looking for. Remember, Seraphin piped back at me and said he had absolutely no connection to InfoWars or Alex Jones and blocked me because of the comment that I had made connecting him to it. 3 days later, he's on InfoWars.
He's on InfoWars.
I'm like, okay, so you can't, and again, we were making fun of a number of different things of the people that Alex Jones has had on over the years, but all of these things, they don't look connected. You don't really recognize that Candace Owens, where she started, or Milo, or Ali Alexander, or any of these other people, even Brendan Dilley, like all these people were around Roger Stone and InfoWars. Roger Stone is a central character to the whole existence of InfoWars. I'm willing to venture to speculate that Roger Stone was there in the very beginning of the creation of InfoWars and may even had a hand in creating it.
Yeah, along with the Intel organization.
Yes, because he's family. He's family.
And that goes to QPost 1366.
There you go. I mean, that's speculation, obviously, but everything lines right up, and they all have an admiration for that POS that I can, in no part of my existence, even imagine somebody saying that they have, admiration for Roger Stone the way that they do. It's a little odd.
Well, I admire that he's a swinger and took out swinging ads.
Nexium part.
And worked at Nexium and wanted to impeach Trump and sick the SDNY on President Trump, which he basically did, if you look what happened, and wanted to impeach him. I mean, he's a good guy. I can see why people love Roger Stone.
And I think that's important for you. You kind of just tongue-in-cheek saying that, but that's very important for you for the SDNY. He makes the threat in that car in A Storm Foretold. He says SDNY is coming for him, and there's nothing he can freaking do about it.
And
guess what happened? Letitia James.
Yeah, guess what happened? Exactly right. Got it all. It's kind of funny how all of these and people are slipping into things that we've known for 3, 4, 5 years, Shady, and we're just going to continue because we are supported by people like you, Shady. I got I got one thing I want to do real quick. This is Things of Holding right here, Shady. This is the official merch for the MG Show. This is one of the official merch for you guys, right? This is the MG Show most popular. Oh, wait. The F-bomb jar is popular. It's as seen on Rumble. You've seen it here. I actually threw an F-bomb at the camera, but you're going to want to get this, guys. This is the MG Show magnet. It's small batch, handmade, made in the USA. Your purchase directly supports us, guys. And it's thingsofholding.com/MG Show. Thingsofholding.com/MG Show. You can get this awesome magnet and then, get some other cool things like Chaos Was the Plan All Along, other cool little other cool little magnets. And I understand that stickers might be coming up in the future as well. So thank you very much to Magic Woman. If you're out there, please go to thingsofholding.com. Use code MGShow. Thingsofholding.com/MGShow. Use that code MGShow for 10% off, guys.
So I want to make another connection. Thank you so much. And yes, by the way, I've got my magnets right over here, Jeff. And the one that I like the best is the one that says, "I drink coffee for your safety."
You know what, Shady?
I do that every morning for you, Jeff. Don't even do it. I can help now.
There's one. All right.
That's one.
I'm going to need a bigger jar.
Yeah,
like a lot bigger.
Like a gallon-sized mason jar.
We love you guys. And remember when I threw it at the camera.
If you hit the camera, you're going to knock it into the floor.
So I can throw them all over the place. I can throw them at people. I can just nicely insert them into the jar, or I can throw them at you, Shady.
It's going to happen in a vacuum.
I hit my dog. He got hit with an F-bomb. Sorry, buddy.
So I wanted to make mention the connection that you were just making about Roger Stone. Let's also make another one that a lot of people are forgetting about that Q showed us, which was the participation of Stormy Daniels and NXIVM.
Yeah.
And the rhetoric that ended up coming out of that. Remember the way the whole thing went down? She manipulated Michael Cohen into giving her money. Michael Cohen's got connections to Roger Stone too. Yeah. Isn't that interesting that he was like part of some of their lobbying stuff that was going on back in the 90s and the 2000s? So I find it very interesting that Roger Stone can literally be put right next to all of the problems that we've had with the let's say right-leaning press.
Yeah, I mean, and he was Haberman, okay?
Yeah.
They were friends.
Possibly more.
He wanted to freeze his little swimmers for Laura Loomer.
Yeah, she's a dude. I mean, no.
Allegedly.
There's things going on out there.
King 1491 is now a monthly supporter. That's our Red Castle Republic, guys. Thank you guys very much. Red Castle, Green Castle, get one right here, rumble.com/MG show. And G Brothers, I saw that you gave one away. So if you want to get your Red Castle, go to rumble.com/MG show. Get in the chat because the chat here is awesome, guys. Mikey Mariano said I might need a 55-gallon drum F-bomb truck.
Yeah, you're going to have to slow. This is a kid-friendly program.
That's why we have a jar, okay? We don't say it, we just, throw it.
Say it, don't spray it.
Exactly right. So go to thingsofholding.com/MG show. But yeah, I've actually got, Alex, I've got the video on Rumble. If you're out there still, my best friend, Daddy Longlegs, who plays T-ball. If you could go find the Rumble video with QPost 1366. I have it preserved and archived on Rumble. Maybe we need to download that and put it onto X. We haven't done that yet, but maybe that needs to happen because it's scrubbed. Okay, it's QPost 1366. It talks about grifters. Okay, let's just go to it because I think it's important. It kind of backs up what we're talking about, and it's one of my favorite posts because I wasn't sure if we should try to start a Patreon or anything like that. And, this is the post right here. It's 1366 and it was 5/14/2018. It says, I don't think it would be fair to say that a journalist can't make money when covering Q. Because the big psyop was don't sell a T-shirt, don't make any,
Patriot.
money. Yeah. Patriot narrative was stemmed from this.
But that only applied to you and I.
Right.
It didn't apply to
It didn't apply
else.
to X22. It didn't apply to Praying Medic. It didn't apply.
Yeah. Nope. None of those people, just us, because we were doing something that they weren't in control of.
Yeah. So I don't think it would be fair to say that journalists can't make money when covering Q, but that's the difference. A journalist covering Q isn't necessarily usurping Q. The patriots in question were trying to usurp Q. This video explains what happened very well. It certainly cleared my head about it all. And then it's QPost 1366, which is now gone, unless it is back. Oh, it's back. It is back on YouTube, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's back. He got his channel back. Okay. So that is there, guys. It's bigger than Phil Gladlowski. It's Alex Jones. It's Mike Flynn, the repackaging of the Great Awakening, the Reawakening tour. It's so many people. It's Juan O'Savin. It's Wayne Willett, same thing. It's all of them, Shady.
Simon Parks.
I mean, we can go down the list if you want, but it's all there.
Well, it's interesting to me because I've just recently started being called a Russian operative again for talking about Q.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? Because
so you're a Zionist or a Russian? I'm trying to understand what you are now.
Well, I'm just saying, whenever Q was posting, the CIA coordinated Mockingbird media were telling everybody that anybody posting about QAnon were Russian bots or Russian assets or from Russia. And so even to the point where Jeff got removed from the conversation by DARPA, who blocked him, claiming that he was a Russian bot. So everybody was telling us that we were associated with Russia because we were reporting on Q. Meanwhile, Q was outing the Zionist / Mossad / CIA / Five Eye intel layer across the board, which was really what was going on. But now all of a sudden, these crack researchers have come back around to agree with the mainstream media and the CIA and say that Q was Russian disinformation.
Right. And that's how they censored me. So Hillary Clinton put a public service announcement on X, and it was a direct targeted purge underneath that foreign influence op and in the Matrix. Okay. So these are the posts right here. These are the Twitter accounts. Maybe you can find my, there I am. Okay. There I am. I'm on that list in the Matrix. Okay. But this post actually says that we were foreign Russian bots. Okay. This is the political article. Sustained and ongoing disinformation assaults targets Dem presidential candidates. And it says a wide range disinformation campaign aimed at Democratic 2020 candidates already underway. And it goes into talking about data extracted from Twitter, so they can do it, but we can't, right? That's interesting. Distortions of positions, decisive cyber propaganda. They believe that we were attached to Russia, Shady. So political and by guardians of this same core group of accounts, the company first identified last year in a study anchoring a wide-scale influence campaign in the 2018 elections. I didn't start my till 2018, Shady. Maybe December 2017. Maybe it was. Maybe I was in there. I don't know. But I didn't put vote fraud in there. It's interesting how I got put into this list, to be honest. Pretty interesting.
Right now, Scott McMahon is asserting that we are helping Russia.
Right.
Just like the CIA-oriented Mockingbird media claimed about this broadcast.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay, so, he's sitting there saying that we're a cult. He's sitting there saying, and he literally ran a cult. He's sitting there saying all these things. He's saying the Ramtha things. He's saying that, we are making false claims when he's making the
I didn't make a false claim.
He's using what the Flynn Network used against us. So how can he be outing Flynn while
making false claims?
Yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic, I find.
And Midnight's Watch, $100 Rumble Wallet Gold. Thank you.
And I have a question here. I listened to the video years ago from a limo driver of Roger Stone in Denver, believed talking about killing someone, wished I would have saved that video. That video that you're talking about was Roger Stone who got caught on tape where he was saying that they had to take out, somebody had to take out Nadler or Swalwell before the election. So he got caught, he quote unquote got caught on tape saying that, and it was released to the media, which was actually turned out to be what? The media all reported it like, Donald Trump's close friend, Roger Stone, says he's going to go after Swalwell and Nadler.
Yeah.
You see, that's what was going on. So this guy is right there doing all these things. We can point to, he calls himself the political dirty trickster.
Yeah.
Okay. A political trickster and a political dirty trickster would be different. A political trickster would be somebody who works for you to help you pull political tricks on the opposition. A political dirty trickster would be a trickster that pretends to work for you to help do something else, but really works against you in covert action.
Go find Swalwell and get this over with. It's time to do it now. Then we'll see how brave the rest of them are. Either Strawwell or Nadler has to die before the election. They need to get the message. And just not putting up with this again.
Our source told us that this was not a one-off conversation, nor was it in jest. Our source told us Stone was talking about taking specific actions on these plans. Quote, Roger spent election day and the months prior calling for acts of violence. It was definitely concerning that he was constantly planning violence with an NYPD officer and other militia groups.
This message brought to you by Brendan Dilley. And the people that support and say that Roger Stone is their good friend. Well, Roger Stone is not a good friend of MAGA, and Roger Stone is not a good friend of a conservative. I don't really think that people that could go on a podcast and use the F word every 3 seconds or could be actually called a conservative anyway, but I don't know. People call themselves a lot of different things. But the reality is, I think that we're looking at a group of people that don't know the first thing about actually being a conservative. I'm not talking about being a Republican Party member. I'm talking about being a literal conservative, like in your real life, like the way that you act and treat people is in a way that would be something close to the saying, do unto others as you would have others do to you. Yeah. Not do to others what others do to you. There's a very, very distinct difference in those two forms of thought.
Yeah. And, apparently we are a big deal to this guy because he says this fat guy named Peterson and another guy calls himself Shady Groove has been bad-mouthing me. In all honesty, a couple of nobodies. Unfortunately, there will be consequences which will be swift and somewhat brutal. Poop heads like this don't know when they're out of their league.
Except for someone in the chat can mention some random video about Roger Stone threatening violence, and the MG show can produce it for you in like less than a minute.
I'm partial AI, guys. AI, degenerative AI.
Not degenerative.
Oh,
it's regenerative.
Oh, got it. Degenerative. Yeah. I like the degenerative. All right, so enough about that. I guess it's just really hard to find real people to watch in this movement that actually love your president, Donald J. Trump. I really saw part of this Shady Groove, but this is the Five. This is probably one of the best interviews that the Five will ever get, and it was really good, Shady, because this is your president being loose. Okay. Oh, and he talks about taking a little journey to a place called Iran. Let's watch this together, Shady.
Yeah, so to set this up, also, I'd like to say thank you all very, very much for your support of the MG show. We are not going to be we finished our premium yesterday. So today we're going to be doing the broadcast. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to play this in full. We're actually going to be going into the JD Vance. We're skipping the bloodlines for today. We're going to be a full show wide open for everybody on Friday. God bless each and every one of you. We are also going to be commenting during this because this is too good. This on the Five is too good. I literally fell out of my chair last night. I was listening to this. It was in the background. Jeff, it's so good.
It's so good. I was partial listening too. I want to just send a special thank you to Independent Sentinel. I really appreciate this comment because I've been working really hard. Jeff and I both look younger and more vibrant than we first met 3 years ago. Thank you. I've really been working on my health. It's been, if you want to make mom healthy again, if you want to make America healthy again, you got to get healthy again. So that's what my goal was, is to get Jeff healthy again, make Jeff healthy again. And I really appreciate that comment.
Great job, man.
A. Clegg says, Jeff, don't you love being told you're AI or ask if you're real or AI daily? I know it happens all the time, but I've been called AI from Keck Productions. Jeremy, a buddy of ours, for a long time. He's like, you got that so fast. What are you, AI? All right, so let's go to this. This is Trump's little journey. This was awesome. In case you missed it, it's worth listening again. Let's listen to it. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right,
you guys are going to be laughing. This is so good.
Joins us on the phone live. Hey, Mr. P, it's your favorite talk show host. How you doing?
Well, that's true. That's true. Greg, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's always good to hear your voice.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations on beating all of those frauds that try to compete with you at a certain time of the evening. You're a little earlier, but I will tell you, the numbers are incredible. Your numbers and their numbers are incredibly bad.
Yes.
And they deserve it. They have no talent, but congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we all have a bunch of questions. I'm sure we'll get to one of them.
Okay.
I want to ask you, like, how do you deal with people who might be disappointed because they voted, let's say they voted for you on the assumption of no wars, and then this happens and it's inconsistent with their wishes? What would you say to them?
Well, I have to do something in terms of making America great and keeping America great. And when you have lunatics with nuclear weapons and the power is beyond belief, I will tell you, as a president, I get to see it. My uncle was a great professor at MIT, and he knew more about nuclear at the time than anybody. He told me stories that were horrible in terms of the power, both beautiful in terms of putting it to good use, but really bad for destruction purposes. And his statements from years ago were, he really got it. He really got it. He was a highly respected man. He was there for 41 years at MIT as a great professor, and he told me about a thing called nuclear. And at the time, nobody knew too much about it, and he said exactly what it was all about. And you can't let a madman, or you can't let a mad ideology have a nuclear weapon. And we hit, as you know, we hit 50,000 in the Dow. Everyone said it would be impossible in 4 years. I hit it in my first year. We hit 7,000 in the S&P, and everyone said that would be even more impossible. We hit it in my first year. And I said, we have to take a little bit of a detour. We have to take a little journey to a place called Iran, where these mad people were going to have a nuclear weapon, and they could do tremendous damage.
Story time with Donald J. Trump. I love this.
I mean, it could be
I love this.
It could be a kid's book, I mean, it's like the one page that says, oh, everything was nice and beautiful in America, and you see the city in New York and the sunshine. The next page is like, and then we took a little field trip, and you see the airplanes like coming in over Iran and the ships being sunk.
It's so good. Here we go.
We take a little field trip.
Journey to a place called Iran, where these mad people were going to have a nuclear weapon, and they could
sprinkled
do
in a couple
damage,
tomahawks,
not only to the Middle East and Israel, but also to our country, because we would be next. And I said, we're going to take a little detour, and we're going to go and we're going to knock them out. And that's what we've done. We have the greatest military in the world. And it started with the B-2 bombers, which made it impossible for them to do the nuclear. They would have had, if we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers like 8 months ago, if we didn't do that, they would have right now a nuclear weapon, and they would have used it by this time. And it also happened with Barack Hussein Obama, if you've ever heard of him. Barack Hussein Obama, terrible president, absolutely a divider and a terrible president.
And guys, the first time I really heard Barack Hussein Obama was Q, Shady. I mean, I might have known that was his nickname, but, Q addressed Obama directly as Hussein, guys.
Many times, actually.
And so does President Trump.
Must be, but it must be those Russians again.
One F-bomb plus two F-bombs equals...
I can hear the MiG.
3 F-bombs.
There's a MiG in the background circling.
When he did the Iran nuclear deal, he gave them a path to a nuclear weapon within a short period of time. They would have had a nuclear weapon a few years ago, and they would have used it on Israel. They would have used it on the Middle East. And you saw that when this all started. They had no tremendous problem with Saudi Arabia and Qatar. And you take a look, and UAE, Kuwait, Oman, they had no problem with them. They were doing fine, and yet they hit them with, in the case of UAE, 1,400 missiles, ballistic missiles. And what they were going to do is they were going to hit the Middle East, and they would have hit it with nuclear if they had it, because they're stone cold crazy. So in order to keep our country great, I said, we're going to take a fairly short detour. We're going to show everybody that there's nobody even coming close to us militarily. Nobody even comes close. We have the greatest weapons. We have the strongest military. And I rebuilt it. I built and rebuilt our military in my first term, and I got to use it a little bit more than I would have liked to be able, because we had Venezuela, and now we have this. But we're going to keep our country safe. You can't let this happen to us or, frankly, anybody else in the world. We're doing a big service to the world.
Mr. President, Kayleigh McEnany here. I do want to ask you about the breaking news. You just put out on Truth Social that you will be pausing energy plant destruction by 10 days to Monday, April 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern time because the negotiations are going very well. I would never ask you to reveal to the public specifics, but could you broadly characterize where we are at?
Well, the Iranians asked me to do that, and I was not happy with them because I made a statement that we're having productive negotiations. I don't know that they get there. Maybe they do. Maybe they won't. I mean, look, in a certain sense, we've already won because we've knocked out their Navy. We've knocked out their Air Force, completely knocked out their Air Force, just about completely knocked out. We knocked out 154 ships, and pretty good ships. In fact, I said, why didn't we just take them instead of sinking them? We could have used them ourselves, right? But they like showing how tough they are. They like them at the bottom of the sea probably a little bit better. But think of it. We knocked out their Navy. We knocked out their Air Force. We knocked out most of their missiles. They're down to about 9%. We knocked out their missile launchers, which is a big deal because without the missile launchers, the missiles don't do very well. You can't go to your window and say, let's throw a missile out of the air. And we knocked out all of their communications, their telecommunications, and very importantly, we knocked out their anti-aircraft apparatus, which was very good, but it didn't last long because we hit it the second night, and we're just free flying right over the middle of Tehran, do whatever we want. And one other thing we knocked out was their leaders. So we knocked out the supreme leader, as they called him, Khomeini. We then knocked out. They then named another one. We knocked them out, and we knocked out part of the third group. And we're just holding for the rest. We know where they all are. And it's one country that does not want to be, you have very few people want to be the leader. You know, everyone wants to be president of the United States. Everyone wants to be president or whatever, prime minister of a certain country. There are not a lot of takers to be the head of Iran right now. I will tell you, they're all fighting not to. We don't want that position. But they asked me if they would, Kayleigh, importantly, they said to me, very nicely, through my people, could we have more time? Because we're talking about tomorrow night, which is pretty quick. And if they don't
look at
do
that,
what they have to do, I will knock out their power plants. And he said, does that include nuclear? Because they have nuclear, you know, plenty of money. They have a lot of money, and they built nuclear and they built regular power plants, but they're massive and very expensive, billions of dollars. And so I gave them a 10-day period. They asked for 7. You're going to say, oh, Trump's a terrible negotiator. They asked for 7, and I said, I'm going to give you 10 because they gave me ships. We talked about the 8 ships, you know, the president that I talked about the other day. But they asked for 7, and I gave them 10. You got 10 days, and they were very thankful about that. Now, they may say, oh, we're not speaking. I don't like that because that wasn't true the last time, as you found out. But we are speaking, and it's going fairly well, and so I gave them 10 days.
I want to jump in right there.
You're very generous, Mr. President.
Yeah, I just want to jump in right there on the heels of that because he moves very quick and he says a lot of stuff. And really, again, well, what are we doing here? We're trying to prepare you with the information that you need to face people that you talk to that are trying to tell you that Donald Trump has done something wrong or is doing something wrong or is somehow lying and taking us to foreign wars, whatever the narrative that they're coming at you with, you're going to be armed with things to come back at them with. And one of the things is this right here, what he just said, good faith negotiations. We talked about it yesterday. What does it mean? It means trust gets established. How does trust get established? Trust gets established the same way that you would get, the same way you establish trust with people whenever you were young as you would make a friend. Okay. The same way that you make a friend. Trust is initiated one piece at a time. So what does that mean? So basically saying here right there, clear as day, Donald Trump says if they had nuclear weapons, they would use them, quote unquote. How is that fact? That is 100% proven now. How is that proven? Because they used non-nuclear missiles to bomb people that weren't doing anything to them because they were upset at us. That proves that they would definitely use a nuclear weapon against someone if they had it and they didn't like them enough. So trust is being established. How do you do that? Donald Trump says, to the person, note, they're not telling the mainstream media that they're negotiating. They're telling the mainstream media and their CIA cronies in Washington that they aren't talking to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is not doing anything. But in reality, what do we see happen? We see 8 ships of oil move through the strait. Donald Trump is taking credit for that. And then they're working on the negotiation. So he upends the deadline and says, okay, since this, then that. Now we move the negotiation deadlines to, I'm going to give you 3 extra days so that you can get your P's and Q's in order here. There could be no better example of a way that you would think a war would go than what we're seeing right now. This is nothing like Vietnam, Iraq, Kuwait, debacle, World War II.
And it's funny where we pause. We got Watcher 222 in here. Look at the timer here. 222. Pacific.
222.
Look at that. I love 222. Those are angel numbers. Love them very much. Here we go.
Thank you.
See,
Kennedy.
I am.
So you talk about some of the people in Iran who are left in the regime. They don't want to be the supreme leader because they know it's probably a short-term position. There are a lot of Democrats in this country who would like to be president. They would like to succeed you, and they are using this war as a battering ram. People like Seth Moulton, who ran in 2024, he is saying that, 2020, he's saying you are losing this war. And my question for you, in terms of people who may be giving you pushback on the Democrat side and even some within your own party, what does winning this war look like?
Well, we've
You're
already
looking at
won
it.
the war. Militarily, we've totally won the war. We even knocked out all their they call them mine droppers. They drop. How'd you like to have a country that has 22 ships that do nothing but drop mines in the water? You know you're off to a bad start when you hear that. Now, a guy like Moulton, I don't know who he is. I don't think I ever met him, but he's a loser. I mean, I watch him on television. He's a total loser. And they use this, I watch poor Chuck. I mean, Chuck Schumer is a great Palestinian, represents the Palestinian nation. He's no longer Jewish, I guess. What he's done to the Jewish people is incredible. They hate him. But remember this. They are good at one thing, sticking together. They have horrible policy, and they lie. And, they did everything they could to beat me. I won 3 times. Unfortunately, the election was rigged the second time, and everybody knows it. And now all the proof is coming out. It's coming out loud and clear. We won by millions of votes the second time. But I don't talk about it. I go on to the, let's do it again. If I didn't think I won the second time, I knew I won by a lot. I wouldn't have run the third time because, that's like the ultimate poll. But I knew how well we did the second time. But the third time we made it too big to rig. So for those people that say the level of popularity, CNN, your friends at CNN, fake news CNN, one of the worst networks you'll ever see, one of the most dishonest, disgusting groups of people. But what happened is they did a poll, and the poll came out yesterday or day before. And is Trump losing MAGA support? The poll was 100%. And their pollster, he's got a lot of energy, and he's pretty good. He probably won't have a job very long. But he said, whoa. It was 100% of the people, the MAGA people, and which is mostly, I think MAGA is almost the whole Republican Party. You want to know the truth? Almost everybody endorsed wins. Almost every single person that I endorse wins. And Kaylee knows that better than anybody. She was witness to it for a long time. Mm-hmm. And she's doing a good job, by the way. But almost everybody. So they did a poll at CNN 2 days ago. And I think you probably saw it. Maybe you put it on. But it was 100% support. So it's wrong. We have people that are weak or stupid or low IQ people that don't mind having Iran have a nuclear weapon. The MAGA people are smart. Now, that doesn't mean they want us over there for, like Bush, for years, just for years. I always said, don't go into Iraq, but if you do, keep the oil. Well, we are a very powerful military. We're the most powerful military nation in the world, and we did a big number on them. And our people like it because they don't want to see us 100%, think of it, 100% in a CNN poll. Which are the worst polls, almost as bad as Fox polls. I hate Fox. Honestly, whoever does your polls, they're terrible. Rupert Murdoch has promised me for years he's going to get rid of your pollster, but he doesn't do it.
Your polls
I don't get it. But your Fox polls are terrible. But the pollsters that are good have me leading by a lot and leading every candidate. If I'd love to run, but there's some things you can't do in life, I guess, not allowed to do. But we're very popular. I mean, what can I say? MAGA loves the fact that they're not going to have somebody with a nuclear bomb over their head. MAGA loves the fact, like in Venezuela, everyone said, oh, this is going to be very unpopular. Well, we're now taking in hundreds of millions of barrels of oil from Venezuela, and we're giving them a lot, and we're keeping a lot, and Venezuela is doing better than they've ever done. We had 100 million barrels of oil in the first week. We more than paid for the entire attack by, in fact, we made it probably 4 or 5 times more than the cost of that attack. But it showed the military power. I mean, the war was over in 45 minutes. And that's a strong military. You know, if you go to Venezuela, everybody wears a uniform, all right? There are a lot of people. But we're getting along great with them. Now, MAGA loves it because we're there and we're participating, and it's, you know, one of the most valuable oil sites or oil countries in the world, just behind us. We're producing now more oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia put together. And we don't need the Hormuz Strait. What bothers me is that countries that don't do anything about it. We're actually doing this for other countries. We don't need it. We did 1%. We don't have to do anything. We don't need the 1%.
Wow, isn't that what I said yesterday, Shady?
Mm-hmm.
We only do 1% of our oil through the Hormuz Strait.
Yep.
Wow, we don't need it. And they're second behind the U.S., America, with oil production. He's doing it for the sovereignty of other people, of other countries. That's why he went out before this war. This was all a plan, guys. He got everybody on board with the board of peace, okay? Once we get the board of peace, that means peace, and that means we do deals with each other. It's very simple, straightforward, but everyone makes it so convoluted.
Everybody makes it convoluted because nobody really knows where energy comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And because nobody knows where energy comes from, then people are confused because they don't realize that, oh, this big boogeyman of the world that's got us all in chains and we're all afraid of it, that's where all the oil comes from?
Mm-hmm.
There in Saudi Arabia. So, you know, it's like you really don't understand the nature of like, okay, well, all of that side of the world depends on that oil supply.
And how is it that we're in lockstep with this guy every time, Shady?
It has to be that we're smart enough to listen to the man talk. I mean, I honestly believe if like, you know, the way that we go the way of the other people is that we just stop listening to him talk and start hearing ourselves talk. And then the next thing you know, we start making ourselves more important than the president. And the next thing you know, we're smarter than the president. And then we make assertions towards his cabinet members and we go right off the ledge.
That's right.
All we gotta do is listen to him.
And we have hidden knowledge. Here we go, more.
I think we did it just because we wanted to be nice to him. We don't need it. But I think I'm more popular than I ever have been. Look, when he heard 100%, he said, I've never seen a poll like this. This is the craziest poll I've ever seen. It was 100% of the people. And the reason is they like that I'm protecting our country from lunatics with a nuclear weapon.
Mr. President, the next time you do this on the 5, can we have you on set? Because we really want you to sit next to Jessica.
This is hilarious.
Influence on her. Can you do
that?
Well,
I think I watch Jessica.
Oh, God.
And I'm not a fan. And she uses fake numbers. She'll give, well, he's only polling 42%. That's not right. Polling very high, actually. You know, polls are just like, I hate people that use fake polls because polls are just like bad journalists. You know, bad journalists, they write fake stories. Well, fake polls do damage also. But that's the thing. I'm sure I'd like her. I'm sure she's a lovely person.
Yeah, she's a lovely person. She really misses the fact that she's not here. I get it.
Yeah.
We're working on her. Don't worry.
Now tell me, did she not want to do it, or did you kick her off the show?
We didn't kick her off. She had a previous schedule that she couldn't change. But let me ask you about Iran. You kind of suggested that we'd knocked out Ayatollah Jr.
I mean, wait a second. Who loves this guy? Press 47 if you love our president. I mean, he's a lot like you and I. He really is, man.
He's like, that's because it's exactly what you were thinking. You're like, you saw this come on and you're like, oh, Kennedy is there. Where's Jessica or Harold? We were like, like you're thinking one of those two are going to be there. And Trump's like, wait a minute. Neither of them are here to come at me. What did you guys just like slide them out the back door today or something?
Yeah, and look at all those 47 Shady.
Exactly what we're thinking. See, like he's one of us.
I know.
It doesn't matter how much money's in your bank account. You can still be normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we?
And I see a lot of naked people. Miso North for the cuss jar. Jeez,
Thank you. We needed that.
Thank you. And and again, thanks again to Midnight's Watch for the $100 of Rumble wallet gold tether. Thank you so much. And the 5 subscriptions as well. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Oh man, that is awesome.
Yeah.
The CIA tell you that Ayatollah Jr.'s gay?
Oh God,
Well, they did say that, but I don't know if it was only them. I think a lot of people are saying that, which puts them off to a bad start in that particular country. You know, I sort of have to smile to myself when I say I see people trying to defend the Palestinian regime for women for Palestine, but they kill women if you don't wear a certain if you don't wear a certain cloth all over your face, you have no chance of living. And, you know, when I look at gays for Palestine, but they kill gays. They kill them instantly. They throw them off buildings. And I'm saying, who are the gays for Palestine? And they have a significant amount of gays for Palestine. Now, I think I did very well with the gay vote, okay? I even played the gay national anthem as my walk-off, okay, for my campaign. And I think it probably helped.
YMCA.
With no Republicans ever gotten the gay vote like I did, and I'm very proud of it. I think it's great. Perhaps it's because I'm from New York City. I don't know, but the gay national anthem was my walk-off, and I think it probably had. But think of it, gays for Palestine, but they kill gays in Palestine. So when they hear that, I think probably we can talk them out of it. It shouldn't be too hard.
No one else will say that.
Hi, Mr. President. It's Dana. And
hi, Dana.
I think it is alarming that we have not been able to see or hear from any of the Iranian people. And I imagine that is because their internet is shut down. And I think there is some general worry about them. Obviously, their government treats them terribly and killed tens of thousands of them in January. Like Kayleigh, I would never ask you to tell us something that is classified, but do you have any insight as to how they are doing? Do they have drinking water? Do they have food?
Right, I do.
It's upsetting.
I do. But first, do you remember when we had lunch years ago in the base of Trump Tower when it was a brand new building?
It was a long time ago, yes.
A long time ago, and you haven't changed.
Oh.
You have not changed. Now, I'm not allowed to say this. It's the end of my political career, but you may be even better looking, okay? So I don't know what you're doing. But I will not say that. I will not say that because that will end my political career. You know, you're not allowed to say a woman's beautiful anymore. You know that, Jesse. You got to be careful.
Thank you, G brothers.
Trouble.
No, he's borderline on this
Yes.
stuff. I mean, he's really, but no, it was great. I still remember it very well. And look, in my opinion, when you look at what's happened, they're petrified because the one side has guns and they have very nasty guns. They have the worst guns and machine guns. And what they do is they shoot you. And the people are brave, but they're not brave when they see people going down left and right. No matter who you are, I don't care how brave, unless you're really sort of stupid, you can't really protest. And the only reason they're not protesting is because they're being shot one after another. And they're doing it with snipers, where they have snipers in buildings. Not that they have to be snipers because they have, free range. But it started with the women. You remember about a year ago, we had 250,000 women? Well, they had women being shot right between the eyes from snipers, 4 or 5 snipers in buildings pretty high up and a little far away. And when you see, and you're a woman or you're a man, frankly, and you see a person dropping to the ground, bleeding from the brain badly, and then you see another one on the other side, and then you'll see 5 or 6 or 7. That's all it took. You run, and they ran, and they never came back. And if you noticed, about 2 weeks ago, they put out a notice that if you protest, we will shoot you. They killed him. Look what they did to the wrestler. They killed him for speaking up. They killed him. He was a star wrestler, great wrestler, actually. Iran has great wrestlers. And he was a star, one of the best. And they killed him because he spoke up, spoke against the regime, which is largely decimated. You could really say we have regime change because they've all been killed. They're all dead. Nobody really knows. The reason they gave us the 8 ships is I wanted them to prove that we're dealing with somebody that's allowed to deal. And they say, we will give you a present. And the present was 8 ships. We're going to give you 8 ships. And they actually made it 10. There was 8. And I heard on one of your shows 2 days ago in the morning, a very good show hosted.
Real quick, I just want to welcome in Dog Rock 71 47. He's new to this, or he or she, I don't know. Love what you have to say. Thank you so much. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 2, 12:05 actually was when we really start. But thank you so much for that wonderful compliment. And Shady, it kind of goes back to all of the emails that we received. Again, if you want to send, and Yeti will drop in the link, if you want to testify or let us know how you met the MG show or how you found us and what you think about us, and if you would recommend us, because we're trying to collect, and it might be published, but we won't use your full name, so don't worry about that. We might use your first name and last initial, or just, first name. We'll figure it out, okay? But we've gotten a lot, hundreds of emails, guys, of how people found us. And Shady, it broke me down. It broke you down as well. And I tell you, if we can affect one person, just one person, during this whole, and I think we've affected a lot more than one. And I tell you, it's an honor. It really is. So connect at mg.show or use the connect at mg.show is the email, or go find us as well. And if you want to, send us your testimonial, click that email now, mgshow.link/testify. And we'd love to hear from you, how you found us. Okay. Thank you. And if you'd recommend us, like, what would you say to people to watch the MG show? Because I know it's a 2-hour show. People get a video, Shady, and they're like, oh man, it's 2 hours. But once you get in, once you start hearing it, I think people like it, Shady.
Well, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to actually produce something that you don't have to specifically sit and watch. We're also broadcasting on radio, so everything that we speak about, we try to say it in a way so the radio audience can understand what's going on, so it's not 100% visually oriented. But also, Jeff,
thank goodness face for radio.
Yeah, exactly. That was the problem the whole time. What I'd like to say to you is this. I think it got bigger. It got a lot more serious after what we're working on is we're working on getting our media kit ready so that we can expand and grow the show to a larger audience. And within that, we wanted a group of people to say, okay, well, what is it that you find so cool or special about these guys? Well, yeah, what happened was an unbelievable adventure in the last 8 years of our life. I can't express to you what it was that that did to me, but I think we want to share it with you. And so we're working on getting it organized. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually be, we're working on that project, obviously, but I think we're going to be setting down the news for a day sometime soon. And we're going to just talk to you and read these stories, because what it was bringing back, I know it's going to bring back all these memories for you. These people talking about specific events, things that happened, the anomaly. How do you find,
yeah,
bro. I mean, I am a greatly blessed human being. Let's put it that way. Me personally, I am a greatly blessed human being to be able to read what it was that you guys sent to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I love this comment from Finn. He's one of our original trolls. Like, you infected me, he said. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but thank you, Finn. We love you, brother. And, you were right about some things too. But again, as you and we have all learned together that the truth is learned, never told. And we did all figure it out together. Okay. And even our trolls ended up watching us and being a mainstay right here on the MG show, which is Finn 1776. And we love you, brother.
And also thank you, by the way, because you know what Finn is doing? Finn is actually spreading the word. At one point, Finn came to our videos and kind of went sideways at it in his comments but now he's talking about MG show in other people's platforms. And we would like to encourage you guys to, talk to other people. There's a lot of people out there right now that are very confused. This thing that's going on with InfoWars and Flynn and all of these people, it's extraordinarily confusing because we've been tracking this Flynn thing, this Flynn subversion for almost 3 years. Yeah. The InfoWars subversion we've been tracking since the very beginning of our broadcast. So these things are now lined up perfectly, and as we are showing you, they all agree with the great Palestinian Chuck Schumer.
It's funny, isn't it?
It's crazy. Like they're all like in complete agreement that Trump bad, TDS is taking over the world, and it's all lost, except there's 100% polls being published on CNN that say MAGA's all in for what Trump's doing.
That's right. I'm with you guys. Thank you, Finn. And we're with you too, because I hope that we're representing you proudly. And of course, Finn, by recommending it on other platforms and other shows and whatnot, that is awesome, man. And I can't thank you enough for that.
It needs to be acknowledged. And I greatly appreciate it, because that's defending us in public is not an easy thing to do.
At least we got it this time. People are seeing it now.
It's got to be my face for radio. That has to be what the rub is.
We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you MyPillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our MyPillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're going to start right now.
Rasta, I know the light's so clear. Truth is learned, never told my friend. Dig it up from start to end. Fire burn, the lies them fold. Truth a lesson, pure like gold. Babylon chat, them full of lies. Sell your tales, them trick and ties. But the heart know what's real inside. Jaja guide, no need for hide. MG music, feel the reggae vibe. Roots and truth, them come alive. No spoon-fed lie, no easy scroll. Truth a journey for free the soul. Truth is learned.
Never told my friend. Come on, guys.
Wisdom rise in the soul, so raw. Seek it out, don't wait for year. Rasta know the light's so clear. Truth is learned.
Never told my friend.
Dig it up from start to end. Fire burn, the lies them fold. Truth a lesson, pure like gold.
Who sees himself on a beach right now listening to some MG music? Truth a lesson.
I and I, we search the way. Night to night and day to day. No man can give what Jah reveal. Feel the truth in every heel. MG music, feel the reggae vibe. Bassline drop, the spirit thrive. Knowledge bloom in due divine. Truth arise for one and all time. Truth is learned, never told. Oh, Jah wisdom rise in the soul. So raw, seek it out, don't wait for year. Rasta know the light's so clear. Truth is learned, never told my friend. Dig it up from start to end. Fire burn, the lies them fold. Truth a lesson, pure like gold. So lift it up, the conscience mind. Leave the shadows far behind. MG music, feel the reggae vibe. The great awakening, truth reside. MG music, Jah. Country.
That's right. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Who thinks that they need to be on a beach listening to some MG music? Slaying psyops every day. Shady Groove, welcome back to the show.
That's all we know how to do, man. I mean, you know, it's like if they didn't make them, we wouldn't be able to beat them down.
That's right. That's right. We just got really good news from Magic Woman. 65 magnets have been sold, Shady Groove, at thingsofholding.com. I counted more than 65 17s in there, but you're forgiven, okay? But you have your chance now, thingsofholding.com/MG show. Get there right now. Buy a magnet. It helps us out. She's been very generous with what she gives us, so it's another way to get some cool stuff while supporting Shady.
Oh, yes. That's exactly what I am here to advocate. 100% Shady support.
I'm just going to keep shady.
Oh, don't turn me into a 4-letter word.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. Magic Woman also funds this show with a Rumble, Rumble Red Castle for somebody. Thank you so much. We got Squirrel Anon says, throw this in your pipe and smoke it, man. Thank you. Tumble Wash says, thank you so much.
It's Friday.
Appreciate you. And G Brothers with 5 subscriptions to the MG show.
Were you guys loving that during the first hour? Like every little, like, is there even a little bit of a crumb of what we were playing that did not entertain you? I mean, like, there's no, like, how can we watch these miserable freaks of nature, like, whine and bemoan and cry and, like, slouch around and act like the doom and gloom is like literally oppressing them into the floor? Like, who wants to pay attention to that nonsense?
Trump is infiltrated.
He's the funniest human being that's ever been made.
I got a question for you all. Did you guys like the video, subscribe, and share it?
Answer the question.
Right now.
Now. And now we're censored.
Now, that's definitely censorship.
Come and knock on my door.
Got it for you.
We've been waiting for you.
No, it
Where
had
the
to make
kisses
it.
are hers and his, Three's company too.
That's going to get us censored also.
That might get me censored.
Can't do parody, much less the real thing.
Oh my God. Do we have some fun or what?
Oh, this is amazing. I think that we have fun because Donald Trump gives us the environment to have fun. Did you ever have fun when Obama was up there talking?
Yeah.
Did you ever have fun to listen to George Bush talk? Just to be honest. The
New World Order.
Not that one. The other one. The greatest thing about George Bush Jr., there were two moments that were absolutely hysterical. One, the moment where the Iraqi press guy threw both of his shoes right at his head on live TV. That was absolutely epic. The second one that made me laugh with Bush was whenever he was leaving the speech that he had made in China, and he walked to the fake door that wouldn't open and tried to leave, and then he's standing there and he's like looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Other than that, the man never made me laugh.
Okay, real quick, it's thingsofholding.com. I see the chat asking, use code MG Show for a discount, 10% off, I believe, guys. Thank you so much. And Shady, let's get back to our guy, Shady Groove. I mean, this is hilarious.
We didn't even get halfway through that.
I know. But you know what? I think this is worth it because I think, it humanizes President Trump a little bit. So I really think this is one of the best interviews that I've seen in a long time. And it happened to be on the 5. I do like Jesse and Greg. They're hilarious. And I love the comment that he did about Jessica. Oh, all right, here we go. Some more. And by the way, he's going to talk about JFK Jr. in past tense.
Yes, he's actually going to do that. And thank you to everybody for subscribing to the premium portion of the MG Show. Today, Friday is coming to you free. We are setting down the book for today. And we're going to, because this is just
too much going on.
This is too good.
We love you guys. Here we go. President Donald J. Trump. The Iranian people aren't able to protest is where we left off. And here we go.
All right.
Very good people, Fox and friends. And by the way, I have to say, Maria's great. You got a lot of great people. You switch back and forth. Maria's great. You have so many great people. A couple of bad ones, but you can't have everything. You have a couple of lousy ones, but you can't have everything. But I watched on the show in the morning. They said, it's very surprising. There are 8 ships coming up the strait, and it's exactly what they told us they were going to give. And then they added 2 more. And that proved to me that we're dealing with the right people. But then they didn't want to say that publicly. And I said, well, you should say it publicly. And now they are saying it publicly.
Mr. President, let's shift on to other topics. I'm debating whether to be serious or not serious. I'm going to go not serious.
Do you think Biden would do this interview? Can you imagine?
No, definitely not.
Biden, Sleepy Joe?
No way.
It would have ended in the first 12 seconds.
You're doing the White House Correspondents' Dinner for the first time, and you're going to attend. Why wasn't I asked to do the roast?
Well, I would love it. Actually, if you would do it, I'd accept it. If they would do that, I would accept that 100%. But, I haven't done it because right from the beginning, I was treated rather rudely.
Because they're...
rudely. I won the election in 2016. It was one of the greatest elections ever. And you were all witness to it. And I had but they were so nasty. The press was so nasty. And so I didn't do it. And, there's this theory that I was there while Barack Hussein Obama was speaking and he was hitting me a little bit. Actually, it was very nice. And I loved it. I really loved it. I was saying to my wife, our first lady, our movie star first lady, I always say there's only room in a family for one star. This is serious. This could be a problem. But she's a movie star. Can you believe it? But I was saying to her, I love this. I'm having a good time. Because every joke was about me, and I sort of liked it. I can handle that stuff. And they said, I was so upset with that evening that I decided that evening to run for president. Well, it wasn't. But it was at the White House dinner. It had nothing to do with my running for president. I actually enjoyed it. But I never did it. And I said, I'll do it now. We had a great election victory. We won the popular vote. We won. If you take a look at the counties in America, 87% of the counties in America. That's why when you look at, they go by counties when they do the coloring. And you look at a map of the United States, it's all red except for 2 little blue lines along the edge. And if you look at the little New York and a little California, and I think California, I think we have a chance. If they would have no mail-in voting in California, I would win California. And the right person, the right Republican could win. But they send out like 38 million ballots. A lot of them go to Democrats. In many cases, you get 2, 3, 4. The highest number I've heard was 7. And Republicans are there calling for their ballot. You know, they're saying, do you have my ballot, please? So anyway, but we won 86% of the counties in America. So, you know, it was like a great election. And I don't know. I think as bad as they've been better to me than they were in the first 4 years. It's hard to be bad. We will soon, you'll see. I mean, we had up until I decided to make this little journey, as we talk about, to Iran, we've had the best economy ever. We have $18 trillion being invested in our country. No country's ever had 3. The record is 3, happened to be China many years ago, 10 years ago. We have 18 coming in, and they're building plants all over the United States. I just left the head of Micron. It's one of the hottest companies. But you have Jensen, you have from NVIDIA, you have all these people. They're all building plants one after another. I'm making it possible for them to do it. We're getting them the permits rapidly. We're letting them build their own electric because we have an old grid system that wouldn't allow it. So we're letting them build their own electric plants. They're building electric plants for every one of their big buildings because they're massive buildings that we wouldn't be able to supply that kind of power. You know, they need the new factories in this country need more than double the electricity that we currently have for the whole nation, for everything. Think of it, more than double. We need twice as much electricity as and what we're doing is saying, you build it yourself. This way they can't complain. But we're getting them fast approvals. Lee Zeldin is doing a great job.
Mr. President, Kayleigh again. 2 things happen tomorrow. TSA misses their second paycheck, $1 billion in missed paychecks, and Congress is set to go on a paid spring break vacation. Thune says he's given his last and final offer to Democrats, and you tweeted out today, terminate the filibuster. Thune said, I got a call this morning to that effect from the president. Where do things stand with TSA? Will they get paid, and should Republicans nuke the filibuster to do it?
Well, look, I like John Thune, and it's not easy for him because he's got 3 or 4 people in there that, I'm not big fans of, frankly, and that don't vote for us like they should. You have, perhaps I shouldn't mention their names, but you have 3 or 4 people that I am.
Rand Paul, Massey, and who else, Shady Grove? McConnell?
And McConnell, and there's a couple others.
There's a couple of others, yeah.
Not at all fans of. And, it's not an easy job for John. And I'm telling you, the Democrats, the one thing they do is they stick together. They don't have these people like Massey, who's just a terrible congressman. They don't have Rand Paul. I call Massey Rand Paul Jr. They both come from Kentucky. I call him Rand Paul Jr. Never votes, no matter what. You can give him voter ID and 5 other things that are perfect, and he'll figure out a way not to vote. It's just there's something wrong with the guy. Rand votes.
Murkowski. That's right, Liberty. That's a good one. Thank you, Liberty Warrior.
Rand said Trump is one of the greatest presidents in the history of our country, and I call
Collins is another one.
I'd rather have you vote. Take the statement back. Just give us your vote. But I sort of like the guy, but he just doesn't vote for good things. It's just crazy. He wants to be a libertarian, I guess, but he just said, I'm fine with libertarians. I'm sort of a libertarian myself. But you have others. You have Murkowski from Alaska. I've given Alaska probably more. She's a very difficult person, very, very, very terrible person, to be honest with you. And you have Collins. And I won half of Maine. I win Maine. I win the lumberjacks and the fishermen. I win those big, strong lumberjacks. They like Trump. But she wins the other part of Maine, and I hope she wins because we have to. She's a good person, actually, but we have to win. We have to keep the majority. Otherwise, all of the things that we've done are going to go down the tubes. But I would terminate the filibuster, and I'd take a vote, and I'd have everything done, and I'd vote on voter ID, and I'd vote on citizenship. I'd vote on no mail-in ballots other than if you're, military or you're ill or you're traveling. I mean, I'll be generous about it, but no mail-in ballots. They're inherently dishonest. Jimmy Carter said that. The greatest thing Jimmy Carter ever did was after he got out of office. Because his tenure in office was not good. He did something that is horrible. He gave away a thing called the Panama Canal for $1. This was perhaps the worst deal ever made. The Panama Canal for $1 was not good. It was I don't know if you know, Panama Canal was the most expensive thing, if you bring it to current dollars, ever built in the history of our country, in the history of the world. And it was a massive, we lost 38,000 people because of the mosquito and a particularly vicious snake. This was not a friendly area. This was not a hospitable climate for the climate change people. And they built the Panama, but they lose 38,000 American lives were lost. And it was the most, at the time, it's the equivalent to $5 trillion today. And he gave it away for $1. It's also very profitable, by the way, always was very, very profitable. Should never have given it away. So, I like to see things done. I would like to see the filibuster terminated. I think it's great. And here's the one thing, and I saw Greg say this the other night, and I do like his show. I like all of your shows, actually. I'm glad Jessica's not there. I think your show would be better without her, but, who am I to say that? Isn't that terrible? I think it would be a lot better. But, Kennedy, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
But, we have a filibuster that would give us the right to vote, and we wouldn't need the Democrat votes. And you have a couple of Republicans. But remember this, and you all said it, they are going to vote for it if they ever get in a position where they get the presidency, and hope that doesn't happen because they would destroy what we built. But if they ever got in the position where they got the majorities in the presidency, they will vote on it in the first hour. Maybe the first day, but I think the first hour. And when you know that, why are they doing this? They should vote on the filibuster, and they should approve everything. And they should also get voter ID and all of those other things that I said. For instance, men and women's sports, voted in. Just voted in. We're winning it anyway, but voted in. There's so many things. They're like 100. I love when they say they're 80-20. They're not 80-20. They're 98-2. And vote this stuff in. But some Democrats, they stick together, and the Republicans, it only takes 3 or 4 people. And we have a few beauties.
Mr. President, speaking of mosquitoes and snakes, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, they're both on book tour, taking some shots at each other. Kamala took a shot in her book on Gavin. This is the sound of Gavin reacting to that. Listen to this. Go.
Why don't you guys like each other?
No, quite the contrary.
So BFFs.
That goes back 20 plus years ago. I think the press and pundits want to make something of that. And so they try to color it in. She gave me a little shot as it relates to the actual truth of the walk I was on. She added that in. I think it graded some color for the book. It certainly helped her book sales. Not my component part, but that book is done unbelievably well.
Did you read it?
I did not fully read it. I've got it. I've read excerpts. I admit, Kamala, I have not fully absorbed the book.
So who do you think is going to rise to the top, Newsom or Harris?
Good Lord.
Well, first of all, he said he can't read. Okay. He did an interview. I have no idea who did the interview. I've never seen the gentleman. I'm sure he's excellent. But he did an interview a couple of weeks ago that was maybe the worst interview for a professional politician that I've ever seen. He said he's mentally incompetent.
It really explains a lot about California.
He said things about his brain. He's got bad board scores. He's got bad this. And then he looked at the room and he said something to the effect that, I'm dumb just like all of you people. And he ends up being called a racist because of that statement. This was the worst interview, but he admitted that he was a stupid person. And we don't want a stupid person as president. And if you watch him with the hands and everything else, there's something wrong with the guy. He's a nice looking guy, but he's losing the look. He's losing it. It happens. It happens. It's all right. He's losing the look. And, we want an intelligent person. He admits that he suffers from mental disability. He admits it. And somebody said, a reporter, a fake reporter said to me, well, it's not fair that you talk about he's mentally disabled. I said, yeah, but he said that he's essentially mentally disabled. And I think it's fine. I just don't want it in a president, okay? We have enough problems. We just had that, by the way. We went through 4 years of that, and look what it got us. Not good. Not good.
Not
Sleepy.
good.
It got us Sleepy Joe.
Hi, it's Dana again. So I have a kind of a pop culture question for you.
Okay.
So I'm new to New York, relatively speaking, so 15 years. And there's all of these young people across America are watching Love Story. which is the story of JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. And I'm curious, did you know JFK Jr. and do you have any nostalgia for the 90s?
So a little bit, but actually I love the 80s a little more than the 90s. The 90s I was fighting hard. We were in sort of a depression, a countrywide depression. And depressions aren't great when you're in the real estate business, but I did great in it. I did well. I always made money. I made money in good times and bad times, but it was it was a sort of a nasty time economically a lot of the nights. But I actually knew him and liked him, and he liked me, believe it or not. He actually put me on the cover of his magazine, George.
Now I want you to guys pay attention. This is all past tense. And Anon asked, that was one of the psyops that JFK Jr. is still alive. Somebody that we know asked the question on the boards and said, hey, Q, is JFK Jr. alive? No, was the answer. Okay.
And I'd like to also point out that just look at how the octopus that is JFK Jr. is alive has permeated the conversation the whole time. JFK Jr. was not mentioned in any regard according to or from Q. It was all generated from a different alternative poster naming themselves R on the same board, trying to run an op against Q to claim that JFK Jr. was alive. We actually were seeing that happen in real time. So they attempted to mimic Q with R, and Q even addressed the person posting as R, and it was completely 100%. If you go back and read that stuff now, it's like, it's completely like, something born out of Fort Bragg.
That's right. Exactly right. And the Daily Beast ran with it, and CNN and everybody else. And then when you guys believed it in Deep Dream, you guys go talk to your family about Trump, and then you say JFK Jr. is alive. What do you think you look like?
Literally Facebook is still infected with it. It is infected in a way that it's almost not salvageable because everybody is like into this whole. I mean, I guess there's some of it's real. Maybe it's all fake. I don't know. But these people still like living in this fantasy land that, JFK Jr. is like somehow, lurking around the White House, and they're dropping clues all the time about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
he seems to reference him as not with us anymore in this regard here.
And let's listen closely. Check it out.
And it was Trump that was working as Q+.
Yes.
Time economically a lot of the nights.
I backed it up a little bit.
I actually knew him and liked him, and he liked me, believe it or not. He actually put me on the cover of his magazine, George. And I got to be friendly with him, and he would go down to Mar-a-Lago with me and with Carolyn. It was a tragic thing. Look, he was going to sell that magazine, which was, a little bit of an anchor. It didn't work out too well. But it was okay, but it was fine. Today, magazines are not doing too well. But in those days, they'd be all right. It was all right, but it wasn't great. And wasn't good for him. His mother he wanted to be a Broadway actor more than any other thing. He wanted to be a Broadway. I knew him very well, actually. He liked me. Can you believe it? He liked me. And I liked him. Let me tell you, he's a very handsome guy. He was a handsome guy. You don't get better looking. And he was going to run for politics. He was going to run for the Senate. He told me. And nobody would have beaten him. And he probably would have ended up being president. Because he had a lot of good things. He was sort of a great guy. I knew them both pretty well. I knew him much better. They would go down to Mar-a-Lago together, and they had a very interesting relationship. They would bicker. I want to be nice. They would bicker together. They would, in other words, have little fights, and then they'd make up and start kissing wildly. So it was one of those relationships, and you never know how those relationships are going to turn out. Frankly, I've seen them go on for years, and I've seen them go on for about 2 days before they broke up. But they would bicker like few people I've ever seen. But the bottom line is, and every woman loved him. He was a truly good-looking guy that was a nice guy, and I think he would have been the senator easily. I mean, easily, and going to run for the Senate in New York. And I think he would have gone on perhaps to be the president.
Mm. Well, someone who's a little less charming than JFK Jr., God rest his soul, Jimmy Kimmel, one of those lackluster late-night hosts, took aim at your new DHS chief. Let's hear what he had to say last night about Mark Wayne Mullen.
Trump's got a whole new generation of thinkers lined up, including his newly confirmed Secretary of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne, Chuck Mike, Bruce Dave Mullen. Maybe Mellon's better. He is the now former senator of Oklahoma. Before he was elected to the Senate, Mark Wayne Mullen was a low-level MMA fighter and a plumber. That's right. We have a plumber protecting us from terrorism now.
What do you think about those comments?
Well, I've watched this guy. He's a loser. He gets no ratings, none. He's got no talent. He's got Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, I whenever I watch, I just can't believe that he's even on the air. He shouldn't be on the air. In the old days when you didn't have good ratings or you didn't have any ratings practically, you get fired. He should be canned. Mark Wayne is fantastic. He became very successful. He took over a small company from his parents, and he made it very, very successful. Made money. He was also a very good fighter, very, very good fighter. I don't know I never heard low-level MMA. I mean, if you fight these guys, these are rough cookies, and if you fight, and he had a good record. He had a very good record in fighting. But that's unimportant. But he is sort of a fighter. But more than anything, I call him country smart. He's a very smart guy. He's got a great way. Everybody loves him. He got a couple of Democrat votes, which is shocking nowadays, right? But everybody loves him, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job. He's got a great way about him, and people respect him a lot.
Mr. President, could I ask, where are you right now? I know that may be a weird question. Are you in the Oval Office?
I'm in the Oval Office. I'm usually there waiting for a call. How are we doing on Iran? How are we doing in Venezuela? How are we doing in all different things, all different aspects? I cover a lot of different topics. No, I love the Oval Office. It's the greatest office anywhere in the world. I have people come in, the biggest people in the world, presidents and prime ministers and the biggest business people, and they walk into the office and you really are at an advantage because they are so freaked out by the Oval Office. They can't believe it, that they're there. No, it's the most precious piece of real estate in the world. And we're building a ballroom. They've been after one for 150 years, and we're building what will be, I think, the best anywhere in the world. It'll be unbelievable. And, it's interesting. You have the preservation, essentially, this group, preservation, a group of they sue me for that. They sue me because the Trump Kennedy Center, I'm fixing it. It's in horrible shape, actually dangerous shape, with steel that's rusting and rotting, roofs that are falling in, rain is pouring. The worst thing you've ever seen. It's going to be incredible. They sue me. But they don't sue the guy that's billions of dollars over budget and actually destroyed the Federal Reserve building. That's Jerome Too Late Powell. I said, did they sue him? I build under budget, ahead of schedule. And by the way, there's no cost. I'm building the ballroom, and it's a very big thing with the military and everything else. Military is very much involved. It's a big, big deal, and it's great. It's going to be beautiful. But you would think that they'd go after a guy who's destroyed the Federal Reserve building. Federal Reserve building was so beautiful. He ripped down the most beautiful part of it. I would have done that job for $25 million, that it would have been gorgeous. And I think they're going to hit the $4 billion mark for a renovation of a small little complex. It's a little complex. And I say, why aren't you suing Powell? And they don't know. They have no idea. But we're building a beautiful, I think it'll be one of the most beautiful ballroom, maybe the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world. And it's very much fitting with the White House. And the White House deserves it. But presidents for 150 years wanted a ballroom. And many of you, I'm sure, were invited to big events where you have the president of China, you have France, our friend Macron, a wonderful friend, but he wasn't exactly there. He wasn't quick with the ships. When he heard we were fighting Iran, I wouldn't say he was quick to the draw. Donald, may I call you back next week? Oh, yes, I'll be back. Then they all say, no, we'll send them immediately. But I said, no, I don't need them anymore. We won. I don't need you anymore. I'd like you before we won, not after we won. But, the people would have a tent, and the tent would have 1,000 people, because we have a very small room here, very small, much ridiculously small. And if it rained, the water would always go, because it's at a low point on the ground. It's the only place for the tent. And so if it rained hard, the water would be 4 or 5 inches off the ground. So you can see the president of China, President Xi, sitting there after having left one of the great ballrooms of the world, the Great Hall of China, they call it. It is serious. Sitting there with water over his ankles. Now we're giving them one of the, and by the way, no taxpayer money used at all for all this stuff. The Ark, we're doing a triumphal arc, which was, you know, the circle by the bridge, by the Arlington Bridge near Arlington Cemetery. They've wanted to be built for 175 years. A thing got in the way, a little event got in the way called the Civil War. The Civil War. They were going to build it, and then they had the Civil War. And that, I think it was a good excuse, but we're doing that. We're getting it built. It's going to be beautiful, and we're doing a lot of good things.
Could we ask you one last final question before we lose our show to Brett Baer?
Yes.
This comes from a very dear friend of mine. She's curious who you will be rooting for at the Masters.
Well, it's such a danger. I have so many friends that are top professional golfers that they're so good. Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy. I love Tiger, but he won't be there. He'll be there, but he won't be playing in it. I have so many friends, and they're such great players. They're such talent. They're long. You know, Jesse's going to be a good player. I saw Jesse hitting a ball a little while ago. Jesse's going to be okay. Not of this caliber quite, right, Jess?
I'm getting there.
Jesse's getting there.
I need a little more time. I have 2 shows. It's hard to get out there and swing.
And you haven't been playing that long. No, he's got some golf talent. But so they're just great players. So it's hard for me. If I pick somebody, I'm going to have enemies. I'll have 10 guys that no longer speak to me. But you have great talent. These are very talented. Scotty Scheffler is amazing. He's the number 1 ranked player. Bryson DeChambeau on the Live Tour. In the last 2 weeks, he won both tournaments. You know, I mean, he's fantastic. So he's going in hot. Rory's hot. You got great players. They're great talents. It's one of my favorite events of all time.
And hers too. Anyway, thanks for taking that question. I had a feeling you would be smart enough to answer it.
Right. I have to be a politician, like when they say who's going to win the Super Bowl, you know, stuff like that. So that's good. But it's a fair question.
President Trump, it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Greg.
Have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Well, this was fun. I'm a big fan of all of you, and I just thank you. It's an honor to be with you. And our country is doing fantastically well, and you can be proud of it. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Who's going to be the next president?
Well, I would say that
you're looking at him.
Republican. I really believe that, and I think it'll be a good one. I think we have a combination of people that would be very good. You put together a little combination, I think it would be hard to beat the combination. So I think you can figure that out. But I think it's going to be. I do believe it's going to be a Republican. I hope so, because we've made so many great strides. It would be a shame to see that thrown away.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Bye.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. That was a great interview. I'm glad we watched the whole thing.
Wasn't it good?
You know, there was a post that said, "Hey, Q, what's the plan after President Trump's second term? Is there a plan?" And there is a plan, guys. So don't worry.
We have Augie saying, anyone know if the word disgrace is a special com? Never heard it before politics, before Trump. So the word disgrace is an older word. It's a word that almost every one of Donald Trump's generation would use. A very powerful word, as a matter of fact. If a person was called a disgrace in America in like the 50s or the 40s or 60s, in that era, it was a very derogatory term that it had a lot of meaning, as a matter of fact, in the vernacular of America between the Revolution and about 50, 60 years ago, where it kind of started to go away as the dialect shifted into a more less educated modality, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to.
Also, Jeff, I'd like to point out real quick that we're going to do some math. I know it's Friday. Let's get the math out of the way. We got to do math.
Wait a second.
Jeff, no, don't. I think this is amazing because he says this like it's nonchalant and everybody sort of skips over it. $4 billion is a lot of money, guys. $4 billion. I mean, that is a ridiculous amount of money. Donald Trump is saying he could do all the renovations at the Federal Reserve building for $25 million. So I just wanted to do the math for you. That is literally 0.625% of $4 billion.
Yeah.
25 million is less than 1% of $4 billion. I just want to put that contrast out there because it's another thing that everybody kind of skips over to not really understand who it is we have running the presidency. We have a person in the office of the president can look at a project and clearly see that he could do this project for about $25 million, and we're being ripped off 99.5% of the money. Think about that. You think that I'm going to go out trusting Tucker Carlson's opinion and Megyn Kelly or any of these other people if they don't, and then they're going to go right around and then say that and then I'm coming right back to this.
I'm out of F-bombs.
We already used them.
I got to recycle them. Okay, there we go.
Don't be using old ones.
I gotta. Unless I get another F-bomb jar, I might have to.
Uh-oh.
This is very disgraceful, too, as we understood that Dan Scavino was friends with the father of Sheridan Gorman, right?
Mm-hmm.
ABC had 1 minute, 19 seconds of coverage. CBS had 2 minutes and 1 second of coverage. And NBC had 23 seconds of coverage. I mean, that's disgraceful.
That's a disgrace.
And let's see. Does it say disgraceful? Look at right here. It says, it said disgraceful, Shay.
Yeah, it is disgraceful.
Comms.
Yeah, it is. Because they are disgracing our nation by what they're focusing on. They're disgracing your intelligence by what they're focusing on. They're disgracing the idea. The idea of America was the idea that we have freedom of speech and freedom to talk about what we want to talk about, so that we report on and discuss the things that are actually relevant and impactful. And this is very relevant and impactful. And look at the way that they treat it. Like it doesn't matter, or it's nonchalant.
Like it doesn't matter, guys.
Yeah.
And
it does matter to everybody.
I want to show this too. This is going to be breaking news. The website is up now. The Trump administration secured freedom.gov. It was registered on January 12th, 2026. A live teaser right now just says freedom is coming. Information is power. Reclaim your human right to free expression. Get ready. So this State Department portal will let Europeans, Brits, and anyone crushed by EU Digital Service Act censorship, UK online safety nonsense, or globalist speech police access real information. The same uncensored internet Americans enjoy, okay? It's got a built-in VPN to route traffic through the USA. No tracking, no foreign bureaucrats telling you what you can read or what you cannot read. While Europe jails people for memes and bans, hate speech, all that, truth they don't like, in other words, President Trump is exporting American freedom, and the globalists are seething, and patriots are cheering. Freedom.gov, let's go look at it right here. There it is right now. It looks like the Midnight Riders, doesn't it, Shady?
It does. And isn't it interesting that, so now doesn't this mean that the people from around the world that may want to tune into the MG show can tune in without anybody knowing you're tuning in?
Yeah. Wow. Freedom is coming, guys.
Freedom is here.
Yeah. Freedom is
coming
here.
Because, and let's remember to mention that freedom was promised by Q and Trump. That was promised. Like this was going to be this is what we were fighting for. This was the end goal. Where do we end up? We end up in a position where the human race can talk to one another without the filter of the global elite getting in the way. Remember, like we were talking about yesterday, how Vince Vaughn was explaining, like, I'm tired of like watching TV and feeling like I'm in a class I didn't choose to take.
Yeah.
None of us chose to take this dumb class. We don't need your class on globalism. We don't need your class on DEI. We don't need your class on colonization. We don't need any of your dumb classes. What we need to do is we need to teach children what the truth is about the history of their country, to understand that the kings and queens in the world are the people that rule the world, the dysfunctional part of the world, and the non-dysfunctional part of the world, the only non-dysfunctional part of the world currently, is the United States of America.
That's right.
We've got plenty of dysfunction here.
And speaking of freedom, let me go ahead and read this one, Yeto. This is a good one here because they can cancel your accounts, freeze your cards, decide what you're allowed to buy, say, or support, guys. Big banks and financial institutions have total control, and they use it, guys. This is why financial independence matters now more than ever. Introducing the Rumble Wallet, a wallet built for real freedom. With Rumble Wallet, you control your money, not a bank, not a government, not a tech company. buy digital assets like Tether Gold, which we got today from Midnight's Watch. Thank you so much, Tether Gold, and Bitcoin in one secure place. No permission, no middleman, no cancel button. And when you want to support your favorite creators that you actually believe in, you can use the Rumble Wallet app to directly tip your favorite content creators securely, instantly, and without interference. This isn't a credit line that they can just shut off. This is your wallet permanently. Yours to protect your future. Yours to protect your family. When the system fails, when the institutions turn on their own people's financial sovereignty is the difference between security and vulnerability. Rumble Wallet isn't about politics. It's about freedom. Freedom, guys. Ownership. And protecting what's yours. So take control today. Download Rumble Wallet now. Step away from the big banks for good. True ownership, true protection, and true financial freedom. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank all of you everywhere so much for this opportunity to talk to you, for being able to be here, for being part of your daily life. A big theme in all of the emails was how much that this show is a daily piece of your life. And, living in the world where paying attention to 10 minutes of something isn't easy. Having us on, whether you pay attention, listen to us in the background or whatever it is you do, deeming what we do here as important is exactly the reason that we kept fighting, was because so many of you said that to us. And if there were 100 people out there doing what we're doing, it wouldn't be so popular, would it?
That's right. And, guys, no matter how hard it feels, and no matter how hard, you're not made to stay down. No matter all these, stupid narratives, Shady, they're all stupid narratives. Get up, guys. And I just want to, this got quite a bit of traction. I'm going to just play this right now, guys. Check it out. Right.
Get up. Get up when your legs tremble. Get up when the weight feels heavier than the man you used to be. This is the place where most people surrender, but you were not built for surrender. Your lungs burn, your muscles scream, and your mind whispers enough. You think strength feels powerful. No. Strength is heavy. It feels like fire in your chest and iron on your back. Every step forward destroys the weaker version of you. While they slow down, you push harder. While they wait, you move. I don't wait for courage. I create it with action. Again. Say it. Again. This fire, this pressure, this moment is the sound of a weak man dying. Is the dangerous one rising. Stand. No.
I love that. I saw it the other day and I'm like, just get up, guys. Keep fighting, okay? You might feel like you're down right now if you're looking at Twitter, MAGA's dead and all this other stuff, but get up. Get on up, Shady Groove.
I'd like to add a personal inflection to that because, it's been a decade now. It's been a decade since I lost everything in my life.
Yeah.
Everything gone. 20 minutes. 25 years of a relationship. Every single thing that we built, everything that we put together was in that house, and it was all gone in 20 minutes. Everything, the valuable stuff is inside. The valuable stuff you create. And today, 10 days later, I do not look on that fire as something that harmed me. I look on that fire as something that helped me. Something that got me the hell out of there. Because let me tell you something, guys and gals, I was embedded in a situation where I didn't need nobody. I could go weeks literally without leaving the property. I didn't need anything. Except you. I didn't know I needed you. This is where I ended up.
I got you, Shades.
I didn't know I needed Jeff. I didn't know I needed Yeti. I didn't know I needed Poussant. I didn't know I needed Keck Productions, Rocket Girl, all of these beautiful people that have been right here beside us, fighting tooth and nail, like against every single one of these schemes that has been raised against us. They were all worth it to get here to you, to be able to talk on the microphone and to be able to express to you what it is that I really see in Donald Trump. I'm not making stuff up. I'm not pretending like I'm seeing a strong man fight for us and really he's a weak puppet of a foreign state. Okay? You're not going to run that narrative on me, and you should stand up and you should mock anyone that tries to tell you otherwise. Not on Twitter, because you're going to lose that battle because they're set up against you. But in your real life, you hear people saying it, laugh at them before you explain anything. That breaks the mind control. They're like, why are you laughing at me? And then they get a little bit butthurt. But then all of a sudden you start filling their head with things that matter. And the next thing you know, it washes away like a gentle afternoon at the beach. It just goes away.
The tide goes out.
It goes right out. That's correct.
Shady Grove, Milwaukee Shaw Mike says, grrr. I still have the Threes Company opening stuck in my head. Thanks,
You're
Jeff
welcome.
and Shannon. Still love you guys.
You can't. That was there's a backstory to that.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Taxpayers' money, more going to be saved because we got JD Vance, the head of a fraud task force. Here's the official opening of the first meeting. What was it, March? It was March 19th? Let me just double check. Yeah, the Trump's executive order was on March 16th to have the White House task force to eliminate fraud, and he appointed JD Vance to head it. March 16th was the EO. Here it is today. This is fast action, guys. No bureaucracy here. What is it? How many days is that, Shady? 10
days.
Darkness.
Here's the basic problem that we've had in this government going back for probably 30 or 40 years is that you've never had an administration that has really taken this seriously until the president put us really from day one of the Trump administration who said, we have to take the fraud issue seriously. And a lot of the anti-fraud protections that existed in our government for a very long time were actually turned off by the Biden administration. So we think fraud has been a problem for a long time. It became a massive, massive problem under the Biden administration. We're going to do a number of things. First of all, we're going to turn back on those anti-fraud protections so that all of these cabinet officials are looking at what's going on and focusing on it. The second thing is that we're going to take a whole of government approach. So much of what's going to make the anti-fraud task force work is that we're communicating across different departments. So when Bobby Kennedy is talking to Scott Bessent about things that he's seeing in Medicare and Medicaid, when Scott is seeing things at Treasury, when Brooke is seeing things at Agriculture, when Scott is seeing things at Housing and Urban Development, what we're going to actually do is force the bureaucracy to take this seriously and work together as political principles to make sure that we stop allowing fraudsters to steal the American people's money.
Wow. I mean, that's what you want, guys.
Someone speaking up for us?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. Wow. Someone not putting themselves first or their opinions first. That's what you're going to see. That's the measure of a man, by the way. And I don't mean like man, I mean man or woman. The measure of a human being is how they talk and how they try to help. People promoting themselves whenever they're trying to help you is not exactly the way that you should go about it.
Right. So we've got a new song, Come and Knock on Our Door, Come and Knock on Our Door. We've been following Q. We've got information, all the sauce right here for you. And by the way, did you like and share and subscribe to the MG show right here on Rumble?
Answer the question.
Right. We could be soon back on Spotify as well, Shady.
Oh, man, I'm fighting these guys.
We're fighting to get back on Spotify because Hillary Clinton's Media Matters got us off there because in the Matrix, Shady, booga, booga, booga.
We're going to do it. I'm dead set. I'm fighting, right, Jeff? I'm doing good.
You're doing good. Me. Yeah, we're all with you. And thank you, guys.
I got to get some. You guys don't know how. It's all good.
We've got all the sauce for you.
They are complete numbnuts over there at Spotify.
Yeah, so we got it. We're going to get it back, but we are on every podcast platform. Get over, if you have an Apple phone, get over to the Apple Podcast. Go on the MG Show and rate it. Leave a rating. Press the like button or play button. Listen to it, guys. We're on every major podcast platform except for, and soon to be back on, Spotify. Shady.
Yeah, we're now over 750,000 total downloads.
Wow, that's it?
Yes, and the 777, that's a lot, bro. In like 3 years, a little over 3 years, that's pretty good.
Let's listen to Stephen Miller real quick because we did have this in our title in regards to the fraud task force that JD, Stephen Miller, White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, chimes in. Check this out.
You're trying to fulfill our title?
That is taking place in Congress with congressional Democrats
fighting relentlessly to abolish the very federal agencies that are responsible for policing and investigating fraud, as well as all matters of homeland and national security. I see, of course, a new secretary who has just been confirmed to DHS, my good friend, Mark Wayne Mullen. He now takes command of a department whose men and women have been working without pay for weeks on end to protect and defend the American people, to protect and defend our coastlines, to protect and defend our families. Well, they've been treated with nothing but derision, hatred, and contempt by congressional Democrats. It is legislative terrorism. It is one of the greatest abominations that has ever occurred in the history of this country, and it's to the everlasting and eternal shame of the Democrat Party. Again, thank you, Mr. Vice President, for your leadership and vision in establishing this task force. I'm proud to serve on it under your leadership. That is taking.
So basically, he just called the Democrats domestic terrorists, guys.
Well, they are
via policy.
Why would who would advocate for people that aren't Americans more than Americans? Why do they care? Why do they have absolutely no emotional connection, whatsoever, to a harmed American? When an American gets hurt, they don't care about it. When an illegal immigrant has a plight like, oh, the illegal immigrant hurt an American, the illegal immigrant becomes the victim. It's a 100% inversion. That's the reason. This is the core reason Q was so important, because an inversion of reality takes decades and decades and decades to build. Well, if it takes 3 decades to build an inversion of reality, it's going to take at minimum a decade to unwind it. We're currently sitting here at just shy of a decade since the first Q drop. It's just now coming to light in the mainstream of the quote-unquote MAGA universe that all of these Alex Jones people are nuts, that they're ridiculous, that they are chicken littles. Let's just be simple. Let's take it back to the time when we were children. What are they? They are chicken littles.
The sky is falling.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling. The outrage is fake. There is no sky falling. You are fine. Don't run for cover. Stand your ground. Running for cover means doing things like not voting.
That's right.
Right? That's running for cover. Okay. Not standing up and speaking for President Trump because there's 4 people sitting across from you that are saying he's controlled by Bibi Netanyahu. That's the conversation you're looking for. That's the moment that you're willing to strike, is whenever that happens.
All right. And we'll see you guys Monday.
Much love to you. What a great week, sir.
I got to go. See you guys later.
The title.
I love you.
I love you more.
Thank you guys for all your support.
They launched the smears to crush the truth teller. Fake news psyops aimed at the plan's creators. Q under fire, labeled a wild dreamer. Trump painted villain by the deep state schemer. Revealing the attacks, the veil gets thinner. Psyops unravel, no more deceiver. Deep state tactics exposed forever. People awakening stronger together. Russia hoaxes built to trap the leader. Impeachment games from the corrupt insider. Q drops mocked as fringe believer, but timestamps prove the hidden maneuver. Revealing the attacks, the storm grows fiercer. Psyops crumble in truth, the deliverer. Deep state panics, losing their power. Justice rising hour by hour. Mind control helps to divide the voter. False flags flown by the agenda setter. Attacks on patriots, endless slander. Now the light shines on every handler. Censorship waves to silence the caller. Election rigs by the shadow controller. Q and Trump targeted by the divider. Exposing the lies of the great pretender. Coordinated immediate hits from the media blaster. Swarm the narrative, call him disaster. Q research buried under laugher. Shadow accounts flood the digital screamer. Boss and shills run the smear campaigner. Conspiracy theorist becomes their defamer. Yet every prediction lands like a hammer. Lawfare launched to chain the resistor. Raids and gag orders, endless prosecutors. Q warned of traps set by the infiltrators. Now the boomerang flies back to the orchestrator. Q called the play as the real insider. They thought they'd broken the unbreakable fighter. Caged the lion, dimmed the igniter. But patriots rose, became the uniters. This is the revealer. World gets clearer, stops defeated. No more oppressor. Attacks on heroes, soon they won't dare. Freedom's victory, we will share. We will share. No more attackers, no more dividers. Everywhere there's exposure, finally we get closure.
If America falls, the world falls. www.mg.show. Boom.